From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the morning news for September 19th, 2025, and these are the stories we are covering at this hour. The Senate has confirmed 48 of President Donald Trump's nominees at once, voting for the first time under new rules to begin clearing a backlog of executive branch positions that had been delayed by Democrats. Frustrated by the stalling tactics, Senate Republicans moved last week to make it easier to confirm large groups of lower-level non-judicial nominations. Democrats had forced multiple votes on almost every one of Trump's picks, infuriating the president and tying up the Senate floor. The new rules allow Senate Republicans to move multiple nominees with a simple majority vote, a process that would have previously been blocked with just one objection. The rules don't apply to judicial-level nominations or high-level cabinet posts. Republicans have fixed a broken process, Thune said ahead of the vote. The Senate voted 51-47 to confirm the 4 nominees. Thune said that those confirmed on Thursday had all received bipartisan votes in committee, including deputy secretaries for the Departments of Defense, Interior, Energy, and others. In other news, former Vice President Kamala Harris accused the Trump administration of silencing critics through fear tactics. Her comments came following ABC's suspension of Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show because of comments he made about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Harris said television networks and newspapers are capitulating to these threats. This administration is attacking critics and using fear as a weapon to silence anyone who would speak out, she posted on X. Trump defeated Harris, a Democrat, in the presidential election last November. After ABC suspended comedian Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show following a threat from the head of the Federal Communications Commission, congressional Democrats have denounced the Trump administration's threats against political critics and unveiled a bill that would bolster free speech protections against government officials. While the bill is unlikely to gain traction in a Republican-controlled Congress, Democrats harshly criticized the Trump administration for pressuring ABC toward the suspension of Kimmel's show, following his comments on how Republicans were responding to the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk. Kimmel said earlier this week that many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the assassination and that President Donald Trump's political supporters were trying to characterize the man charged in the attack as anything other than, quote, one of them, end quote. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr subsequently called Kimmel's comments truly sick and said his agency has a strong case for holding Kimmel Network parent Walt Disney Company accountable for spreading misinformation. Disney is seeking approval from the FCC for ESPN's acquisition of the NFL Network. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said Carr should be fired. Turning to Pennsylvania news, Chester County, PA has one of the highest per capita murder rates in the nation. It's a community that has long been no stranger to violence. In fact, officials say Chester, Pennsylvania was one of the most violent places in the country. Chester had one of the highest per capita murder rates, not in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but in the entire country, Governor Josh Shapiro said Wednesday. But over the last few years, state, county, and city leaders say they've made a concerted effort to crack down on the violence plaguing Chester streets. It was in 2020 that they launched the Chester Partnership for Safe Neighborhoods. 5 years later, officials say they've made significant progress. That 5-year run, and especially the success we've had this year, has made this the most safe stretch we've had in the city of Chester, literally in decades, Delaware County District Attorney Jack Stolzheimer said. Now, hope is here in Chester, Mayor Stefan Roots said. On Wednesday, officials provided new data on violent crime in Chester, specifically on gun-related incidents. Their numbers show that since 2020, gun homicides have fallen 74% in the city. Gun incidents or shootings, as Stolzheimer put it, were down 65% in that same span. But the capper for many officials at Wednesday's press conference was the work done over notoriously violent summer months. Officials say this summer they recorded 0 gun homicides. That's the news at this hour. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio is now available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville weather forecast here on PEP Radio.